Hey everyone, so it's Wednesday, hump day, right? So let's get over some humps. The object today, no, I have not laid out or started dehousing dados on the aprons. I have one slight issue on the big apron that I want to work out, and I want to wait until the weekend to work it out, or maybe tomorrow or Friday afternoon, something like that. So the object tonight, I still had to put the bearers onto the top of the frames. I got one done already, and now it's just time to knock this one out. So I wanted to show you, how I was doing it. Again, this bench is built completely by hand, not a single electric power battery, anything kind of hand tool. It's all hand tools. So see how quickly we can knock this out. It's past my time to stop by almost an hour, but I want to get this knocked out and get it done. That way it's kind of out of the way or whatever. So I'm just going to start, set it on there, and neither one of the other ones really showed. Paul does his, and he just kind of like cuts it to length, kind of throws it up there and screws it down. He doesn't show what he did, all the stuff he did before that, because you don't just do that. But I mean, I guess you could. But that's just kind of throwing a bench together, and that's not his style. So I know he didn't just do that. So the first thing we got to do is lay it out, right? So I just set it up there. I know how it's going to be situated on the bench and everything. Not that that really matters, but and I'm gonna go this way with it. So no, well, Now one thing I did do is I planed the tops of these just to make sure. I didn't plane. I checked it with a plane to make sure that they were nice and flat and ready to accept the bearer. So I'm going to get it on here, make sure it's flush on the ends. I left mine just a hair oversized, so I'll just make sure it's even, and I'll plane so I can plane it down once it's already mounted on there and everything. So I just mark it from the underside right here, so I know where it's at. Pull it off. And it doesn't have to be like super deadly accurate here. I just kind of do a quick trace over to the other side. And like I said, we're not going for accuracy here. Super accuracy anyway. So then I want to put 4 screws. I'm going to put 4 screws in here, 2 of them on the front, 2 of them in the outer and inner on both sides. So, and then I'm going to put 3 right down the middle to go right along the that upper tenon. So I want to kind of get measurement that worked well for me was 1 3/8 inches. So I just set it at 1 3/8 inches and use some kind of clamp. I just clamp everything. You don't need a lot of clamping force here, just whatever. And I'm literally just going to run this down on both sides. You're not going to see any of this. It's all going to be facing down, so it's not a huge deal. Well, it's going to be underneath the bench and everything, so it is what it is. And then I'm just going 1 3/8 in from either end to know where I'm at, and then it's equidistance in from each one of the 4 sides of this little section that's going to the top of the frame. Again, not super accuracy, that's not what we're going for. I mean, you could do this without doing all this other crap, but I don't know. I just why skimp on that now? Why skimp out and rush through something at this point when we've spent so much time getting to where we're at? If you're gonna do it right the first time, right? Alright, so we got that laid out. Then we gotta measure, we're gonna find center. And this you want to get pretty close. Really, I'm just eyeballing it to get it where I want it. Just making sure we're equidistant from both sides. And that is super close. So we'll just take this and run it right down the middle. And I'm going kind of equidistant from the lines. That puts me at 1 5/8 or 10 5/8. And the 6-inch mark from there and on out, right there. Because I'm going from these first 2 holes, the distance in between the first 2 holes and the center mark of the board, which gives me 6 inches. Yours is probably going to be different. And it's just a rough, it's just, we're gluing and screwing this board down. It sounds so simple, and it is. But I like to nuke things out a little bit. That was for you, Brian. The next step, I guess, really is to drill it. Of course, you're dealing with wood here, so it's not as easy as just drilling it. So I just take a, what I'm getting at is you have to, you got to mark your hole first. So I just take a screw, or if you got an awl, use an awl, whatever. Some kind of center punch. And mark all your marks. Might as well get them all knocked out at one time. And I don't have any auger bits that go this small, so I have to use like a regular bit. Which kind of sucks because auger bits are awesome if you've ever used them. But I think the smallest I got is 1/4 inch. So, can't use it. Whatever. So, actually I don't want to use this. I'm going to use my larger one because I'm putting this. We don't have to do it this way, but I'm going to do it this way. Make it where the shank goes clean through. I don't want threads on the bear. I just want threads where I'm screwing it to. That way, there's no I'm alleviating any kind of error I might have with matching up threads if I. When I go to glue it down, that's it. Like I said, there's no turning back, so I don't want any surprises, is what I'm saying, really. So I'm just going to go with this larger one. It's just larger than the threads. And if it's not straight up and down, who gives a shit? It's a screw. I'm going to be pretty damn close. And I was too lazy to bring my jaw horse in. But we'll make do. And if you like what you see, you're learning anything, or if you're watching them to learn something and you ain't learning shit, let me know. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know how this ain't working. Well, it is, but of course it does is what I'm trying to video. But yeah, let me know what you think. I think in the future I'll probably get some better video, better audio, all that stuff. But as of right now, that's not my primary goal. I'm not monetizing this or anything. I'm really to kind of backtrack a little bit. The whole reason I'm doing this really is just to document it for myself, for one. Plus, my family, my girls, and my mom all live in different locations. And so this is kind of, if they feel like hanging out with their dad or having a cup of coffee with their son, they can come hang out. It really isn't, and hopefully, I know there are people watching this for the bench build, so I guess if you guys learn something or benefit or see something I'm doing that maybe you haven't thought of, or you've made the same mistake and you're just laughing at me, you want to get a laugh, whatever, but As long as you're getting something out of it, right? And these things are so slow compared to an auger bit. So yeah, I'll get these two on tonight, and tomorrow night, since I really don't want to I need some time to get everything squared away with the aprons and lining everything up. I'll probably tomorrow night just drill for the bore, the pegs, bore through all the legs where the tenons go into the legs, and peg it. That'll give me something to do. It won't take a whole long time, and I'll make progress on the bench. But it's getting to that point now where, you know, you get so close, and you think you're getting close, and I'm pretty close. I'm a whole lot closer than I was a month and a half ago when I started this thing, or whenever that was. Yeah, it was about a month and a half ago, if not a little more, actually. I think March 20, I think around late March, something like that. So all of April, part of May. So anyway, I will be building stuff on this bench. So the first couple things I'm going to be building, things that I have in mind to build, is I don't have right now, both of my beds are just mattresses sitting on the floor, so bed frames are definitely in order, as well as coffee tables, end tables, nightstands, stuff like that. Some bar stools. Just a bunch of little stuff for the house for right now. Then I'll make I'm going to make a rocking chair. I already made a big TV stand. Similar kind of construction too. Kind of, I don't know, amped me up, prepared me or whatever for the build, to build the bench. But, yeah. So I got a lot of projects lined up. I don't know if I'm going to video them all or not, but you know, might as well. It would kind of go with the theme. And I forgot to drill a hole. Yeah, and if you're going to use, piece of advice, if you're going to use, like me, if you're going to use this brace with a Phillips bit, which is what I'm going to use to put the screws in with, remember that this thing's going to put a whole lot of torque on, you know, so don't, it's going to sink the screw really quick, and you're going to think you're like screwing into mush, which you kind of are in end grain a little bit, but you're really not. You are you're just putting a whole lot of torque on it. Now there's tear out here. If we were worried about tear out, we would have gone till we were poking through the other side, and then flip the board over and then come in from the other side, and it'd have been a nice clean hole on both sides. But here I don't care about tear out. One last quick thing I'm going to do to the top. Just a real quick is put a little chamfer on there. Not that it really needs it, but I'm just going around once or twice, just so that the head is conforming to the shape. I'm not really going real deep into the wood or anything. I mean, this is a little more of a step for hardwood, but you know, why not keep the practice going? Alright, so this is pretty much done. Right now we're going to mount it. We're going to mount it on here, clamp it down. This is where you need to be like, okay, this is exactly where I want this. So just get your clamps nice and light. And get everything all flushed up. Get it right where you want it. And then just take a screw, drop it through there, and mark where you're going. Really not necessary on the end grain, but long grain to long grain, that's where I care mostly about it, because I don't want to split the wood. I'm going to go in with it and pre-drill to where it's just under the shank of the threads. Alright, so all those marked. And normally we would go to where all you have is the threads. Like if you're dealing with metal or you're dealing with hardwood. But, and I know you can't see it, but the drill bit that I'm going with is actually smaller than the shank, so it'll be a tight fit, a nice tight fit, but not because I don't want it loose at all, right? But I want it to grab, and I want it to be firm and grab real good. So now that we have all of our marks, now this is just a start I'm not going to go the whole length of the screw. These are 3-inch screws, and it's only an inch going through, you know, a little more, about 1 3/8. So I've got like over 1.5 inches going in, 1 5/8 going into the corresponding piece. I mean, just be as straight as you can. And I know where I want to stop. And yeah, this video is going to be a little long. But, oh well. Hopefully you're learning something. And if you're still here, obviously you are. Yeah, I'm excited for this weekend. It will be nice to, and then we have a long weekend coming up for Memorial Day weekend. I say long, we're getting, I think, a 3-day weekend, maybe. I guess I'm kind of partially assuming, but we'll see what happens. But regardless, I'll have a whole weekend to get some good progress done. So once the bench is built, then we gotta install the vices. So that's chopping out big chunks of the bench top, which are going to be kind of weird. But we'll be chopping them out and mounting the vise, both of them. And what else will we have to do? We'll have to drill some dog holes. We'll drill dog holes for dog hole system, and then we'll make some bench dogs. I've already got a couple holdfasts ready to go for 3/4 inch holes, so that's what I'll be doing. And all that's left is the glue and screw. All the measuring and marking and pre-drilling and everything is done. Took forever, almost 30 minutes. Of course, I'm jacking my jaw through the whole thing too, so I just want to get one test fit real quick. What I didn't do is mark my board, so if I'm a little off, that's okay. But man, I measured everything pretty accurately, so it's going to be pretty close to the same either way I go. And that's not screwing in, so it has to go this way. So I mean, it's just barely off, but it's not making it, so I know it goes this way. And it went in over here when I had it that way too. So we'll get them all. Go ahead and get all the screws in there and ready to go. But it just barely oversized of the shank. That way, it still catches the head, and the head will cinch it down. And all right, here we go. This one isn't quite as exciting. It's just, you know, that old glue thing. And I'll be lucky if this battery lasts long enough. And not really that the glue in the end grain will work really well, because you can't really glue end grain, but I'm throwing some on. I got some some checking in there, so that kind of helped that out too a little bit. And this little section right here, this long grain to long grain, that's your major glue spot. All right. So I'm just going to get a couple of them started. Make sure everything's good and centered up. Everything's lining up the way I want it to. It's good to see. And just want to get good even pressure. Remember that the shank, it's not, you know, cinched down or anything, so the shank is still going to accept it. And it's still movable until I cinch it down. It's good. Once you get the first couple down, you can take the clamps off and go to town. Shouldn't have a whole lot of squeeze out here, but alright, that's that. Take the clamps off for a minute so I can get to the rest of these. Now you're just trying to cinch it just below the surface. You don't want to hang up on. You don't want to hang up on a screw when you're trying to mount your top and your well board. And it's so easy at this point to reach over and grab my drill, but I hardly ever use it anyway unless I'm drilling metal. It'd be much faster, but kind of defeat the purpose. See that, and I'm not a hater. You want to use power tools, go right ahead. But I want to build with hand tools and be kind of phony, be kind of I won't say an oxymoron, but if you were building a hand tool woodworking bench using power tools, especially if you're a cordless carpenter. First cordless drill right here. As you can probably see on the other side, so I'm assuming that there's a little bit of squeeze out there, and that's exactly what we want to see. And that's me glued and screwed. Tops are, the frames are completely done now, so there you have it, friends and family. I love you, and everybody else. I'll see you on the next clip, probably tomorrow.